Following the death of KTS Von in summer 2015, members of the No Limit gang would continue to be targeted in attacks by their various ops. Eventually, Shooter Shellz from Black Mob would be released from jail after 18 months, apparently the result of a raid in a house he was staying at with a girl.
We had this little crib together, you feel me, down there on 73rd, on Phillips or whatever, and she, I don't know, I guess she was going left and she, goddamn it, called the police and got that raid because the crib was in her name, so she gave them consent to get the crib searched or whatever, you feel me, you know, she gonna say whatever reason why she did the shit, and shit, they searched the crib, you know, they found some guns or whatever, you feel me, and you know, they found some other shit that they was able to use to pin that shit on me. So shit, I went down for that shit. I've been booked for like 18 months for that shit.
At this time, it's believed that Shooter Shellz was really looking to avenge his fallen brother Scoobs, whose life had been taken by another gang whilst he was inside. Allegedly, Scoobs was killed by a man named Yogi from a set called ABK in May 2014, and after his release, it's said that Shooter Shellz would get his revenge, allegedly catching Yogi, real name Dujuan Williams, on June the 27th, 2016, with the news reporting a 20-year-old man shot dead on the 7400 block of South Shore Drive. Shooter Shellz had apparently caught Yogi and another 18-year-old man, shooting them both, with Yogi being shot in the head numerous times, later being pronounced dead in hospital. And Shooter Shellz would go on to rap about the killing in numerous tracks. For example, in the song Pac-Man, where him and his crew quite literally tote sniper rifles in the music video, Shooter Shellz would rap that he's smoking Yogi, as well as telling fans that his crew Black Mob are friendly with Lakeside and the Cutthroats who were also beefing No Limit during this period. Considering how disrespectful Shooter Shellz was getting towards No Limit in some of his songs, it's no surprise that him and G Herbo would actually go back and forth in a lyrical exchange. G Herbo had actually been dissing Shooter Shellz in his music as early as 2012 on the track My Hood, where he raps that he's not scared of Black Mob and to tell Shooter that they're changing the name of his hood by killing his friends. Herbo would go further on his I'm a Boss 3 style, where he says if he sees Shooter he's going to shoot him, or blam the 8 as he puts it. So when Shooter Shellz came out of jail, he was eager to drop songs clapping back at the perceived disrespect coming from G Herbo and No Limit. On March the 21st, 2017, Shooter Shellz would drop his song Godfather, where he once again mocks Yogi, saying that they smoke him, going on to infer that that killing was revenge for Scoobs, as he raps he was in jail when Scoobs died, and he couldn't say goodbye. Now it's rumoured that only 9 days after this song, Shooter Shellz would catch another body, with this rumoured to be his 5th murder, the 4th committed against No Limit. This being a very personal killing, the shooting of the father of Lil Wet or Wet 'em Up from NLMB, who went by the name of Big Wet. Now the killing of Big Wet would ultimately result in a shocking retaliation that ended up killing 4 people, but we'll cover that in more detail shortly, because at this point all you need to know is that ultimately when Shooter Shellz got out of jail, he was on the warpath looking to cause maximum pain and disrespect to his opposition, both in the streets and in the music. And on the 6th of April 2017, he would make a big splash with his latest diss song aimed at No Limit, titled Death of 150. This was a savage and disrespectful song aimed at his rivals, namely G Herbo and his 150 Dream Team record label. The music video featured an armory of guns, with a Tech 9 being menacingly dangled from a string in the intro, and as the video went on, we would see an individual wearing a t-shirt of G Herbo's 150 Dream Team record label being attacked, with the 150 shirt eventually being burned on camera at the end of the video. If anything, the lyrics of the track are even more disrespectful than the visuals, because it's wall-to-wall with disrespect aimed squarely at No Limit and G Herbo. He would say Herbo's rapping ass don't wanna shoot, suggesting the only way Shooter Shellz can touch Herbo now is through music. He would rap menacingly that since G Herbo moved out the city, Shooter Shellz is gonna come looking for him. He says if he catches somebody on No Limit turf on Essex and 79th, he's gonna put them on the news and have College Kid making videos about them. He says that Herbo will soon be meeting his dead friends Rock, Kobe and Fazo, even referencing Herbo's earlier mixtape Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, saying that Herbo won't be like Kobe until he's dead. He goes on to say that if he catches a No Limit member, he's going to kill them regardless of there being witnesses. He says all of the disses aimed towards him from G Herbo's songs will get Herbo killed, and he ends the track dissing numerous No Limit members, G Herbo, Fazo, Kobe, Vito, Simo and Pistol P. Death of 150 went crazy in the streets of Chicago, and had drill music fans picking sides between Herbo and Shooter Shellz. It was also the biggest song of Shooter Shellz's career, today sitting over 7 million views on YouTube, with his other songs tending to average in the low hundreds of thousands. This song made Shooter Shellz a much bigger name in the Chicago drill scene, and in an effort to capitalize off the back of this growing buzz, he would continue to release more music, and getting more and more brazen with his lyrics. On May 22nd, 2017, Shooter Shellz drops the song Real Ones, where he appears to admit admit to killing more people, with him even rapping at one point, "I'm talking my count alone, I've got a whole nick," meaning a nickel or 5 kills. It's strange to think that a person who, by their own admission, had allegedly killed 5 people would allow videographers to visit their block and ask them specific questions about their life in the streets. But that's what happened, and only a few days after that song released, an interview with Shooter Shellz would drop, where he would speak on the disses between him, G Herbo, and the No Limit crew, saying that he was essentially retaliating to Herbo's early disses on the track I'm a Boss, and saying that the beef between them two is personal.
You know, like, we've been in tour with them guys for a minute, you know, Lil Herbo, whatever them, like all them little 150 guys. You feel me? It ain't specifically Lil Herb, it's just all of them. You feel me? I ain't singling out just him. You feel me? All of them. We in tour with the whole, all of them. You feel me? Like, when he first started rapping or whatever, you feel me? When motherfuckers were just local, he had mentioned my name in a track. This one I wasn't even really rapping like that. You know, everybody always play around with the music, but you feel me? I wasn't taking that shit too serious. You feel me? Motherfucker put me up on game. Not that y'all don't really, but that I'm a boss shit. He said some shit about me or whatever. You know, it's rap beef. Once a motherfucker mention my name, we go at it. You feel me? Cause you know, we really into it. It ain't like this just some odd motherfucker I never heard of. This motherfucker, you know, we into it. You feel me? So I mentioned them back, but it ain't really getting no recognition.
Shooter would say that too much has gone on in this beef and that there would be no chance of him and Herbo squashing it.
You think it's like any way that situation can be solved?
Nah, I don't know, man. It been too much going on. You feel me? It been too much going on. That shit'll never die down.
Shellz would also explain that the war between these two groups had escalated from schoolyard fights to gunfights and full-scale gang war.
You know, a lot of shit with the Lil Herb shit. It wasn't even just Lil Herb though, you feel me? He used to go to a whole nother, like, when I was like in 6th grade, I used to go to PAL. You feel me? Then we used to be like, you know, elementary school was close by. Elementary schools used to fight. You feel me? We been always in tour with them. And as we got older, you feel me? The shit just escalated. You feel me? So you know, motherfuckers started gang banging, fist fights turned to gunshots. You feel me? Gunplay. As we got older, high school, and then motherfuckers started playing with guns. People started dying, or somebody got shot, and ain't nobody gonna let that shit go. You feel me? So once a motherfucker get hit, bloodshed, the shit, it'll never be the same.
Shooter Shellz would also explain that since dropping his Death of 150 diss track, his DMs are crammed with fans of No Limit telling him that he is going to be the next one to die in the war.
You feel me? You got motherfuckers, they, you know, sending me messages on Instagram telling me you gonna be the next pack. You feel me? All this extra shit, you know, fuck your dead homies, all this, just a whole bunch of goofy shit.
A few weeks after this, another interview with Shooter Shellz would take place, this time with Zach TV, where he would discuss the long-running beef with G Herbo, denying that he was dissing Herbo for clout on the Death of 150, and saying that the beef has been going on between them for years in the streets.
Yeah, you know, we in tour with them. You feel me? The Lil Herb guys or whatever, the No Limits, you feel me? We in tour with them, so there's a whole bunch of East Side shit going on. You feel me? I don't know if too many people know what's going on. You feel me? Motherfucker always talking about clout chasing like I'm just trying to come out, diss the man, and you feel me, get some clout here and shit like that. Motherfucker been in tour with them. Here's the thing, like even before Herb even came around, you feel me? This was like motherfuckers in 6th grade elementary school. Motherfuckers been always fighting them niggas, but in that
so this shit been going on back in the day?
A motherfucker been fighting them since elementary school, and then as motherfuckers got in high school, the shit gon' escalate, you feel me? Then motherfuckers start playing with guns, all that shit, so I end up getting locked up again, you feel me? So I'm recently just not coming home, but you know, the shit's still on, the beef's still on, motherfucker diss me, the shit is still busting. If you don't get no fuck cause he getting on, I ain't finna wrap that shit up.
Funnily enough, Shooter Shellz explained why he never dissed Lil Bibby, seemingly respecting Bibby's focus on getting money rather than dissing dead ops.
And shout out to Bibby, man. You know, he on some grown man shit, but why y'all respect him?
Yeah, I got respect for Bibby, you feel me? You know, he's doing his thing. I don't never recall hearing Bibby say shit about, he'll probably say the ops, but he don't say shit about no black mob, there's no fuck such and such, no fuck this, no fuck that.
Shooter Shellz once again reiterated that there was so much bloodshed for the two sides to settle in this beef at this point that only the people who got rich would be the ones to escape the cycle.
Can this shit change now?
Nah.
It been a lot of bloodshed though, you feel me? Even if
bodies lost.
Even if motherfuckers had money, you feel me? A motherfucker would do that rap beat shit. Who's to say that if a certain nigga from down there, you feel me? It probably, you know, certain like motherfuckers that got the money, they probably don't be on that shit trying to, you know, risk it all and got them and get locked up all that. But it's still gonna be niggas that ain't in play that got some bread that can really stop shit. They gonna be still keeping the bullshit up. You feel me? The shit gonna keep happening, man. Motherfuckers die behind that shit. You gonna hear all his homies die. You feel me? I lost my brother to that shit, so it ain't like I could just turn my back and be like, you feel me? Fuck that shit. But if I was to get on that shit, it'd be some more like for the next generation type shit. You feel me? Like, man, you feel me? Motherfucker gotta learn how to forgive and let shit go, because if we just keep this shit up, the shit, it's just gonna be a, you feel me, an everlasting cycle. The shit gonna keep going on and on and on.
Halfway through this conversation, Zach TV discovers Shooter Shellz' age, and I've got to say the answer surprised me too.
And let me guess, 29?
21.
Bro, you 21, bro?
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? How you age so quick? What the fuck going on, bro?
Man, I've been through a lot in my life, man.
Regardless of what Shooter Shellz or any of the gangs from this story did in the streets, there's no ignoring that a lot of the violence in Chicago is likely the result of the harsh situation that many of these young men found themselves in growing up. And as Shooter Shellz opens up about all the pain he went through losing relatives at such a young age, it does a lot to explain what actually caused him to become this violent person.
My OG passed when I was like 11. My pops died when I was like 9.
Man, fuck around and lose your mom and dad, lose your bro of that 2014.
Bro, you lost your mother, your father, and your brother.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
shit.
that's a lot.
My condolences, bro.
To come to this shit, you feel me, all this street shit, that's a lot. A motherfucker gotta mature, you gotta mature fast, you gotta grow up, you gotta take care of yourself out here. It's all fun and games until one of your loved ones get killed, you feel me? Nobody understands shit till one of yours died, then you be like, yeah, motherfucker be mad, you wanna strike back, but at the same time, another one of your loved ones can die, so you gotta look at your loved ones every day like, man, motherfucker get their life taken to this shit.
Shooter Shellz was clearly dealt a difficult card in life, and unfortunately his reaction was to dish out pain to others. And despite having the wisdom of an older man as a result of growing up fast in the streets, unfortunately one of the consequences of causing so much pain to others would be that karma would eventually catch up. And sadly for Shooter Shellz, less than a month after that interview with Zach TV, karma would indeed come knocking, when on July the 10th, 2017, some have suggested that Shooter Shellz' location was given away, because as he was getting into his car, a white Nissan Altima pulled up with 3 shooters hopping out and gunning Shooter Shellz down in the middle of an Auburn Gresham street in broad daylight. But that wasn't the end of things, because the murder of Shooter Shellz is one of the most gruesome in Chicago history. Story has it, after Shooter Shellz was struck, he would fall to the ground, at which point numerous shooters stood over him, taking turns firing bullets into his face. In what was one of the most grisly deaths in Chicago drill history, he was shot in the face as many as 18 times, with a graphic picture of Shellz' disfigured body taken by a member of the public and posted online, which is far too graphic to show you on YouTube. Police would recover a whopping 43 shell casings at the scene. Due to the serious nature of this crime, and likely due to Shooter Shellz' involvement in numerous murders across the city, the FBI would be called in to work on the investigation, with the FBI allegedly filing a court order to search the content of Shooter Shellz' iPhone, which was found in his pocket after his death. It's unclear whether the FBI found anything of note on Shooter Shellz' iPhone, but what we do know as a result of police documents later posted on Reddit drill community Chiracology is that the prime suspect in the killing of Shooter Shellz was Mad Max from No Limit. Numerous outlets would go on to report that Mad Max was named as one of the shooters, with the cops apparently picking up Mad Max a week after the killing of Shooter Shellz, catching him with a gun with a defaced serial number, but clearly the cops didn't have any further evidence connecting Max with the incident, and he was ultimately let go. G Herbo would actually go live following the death of Shooter Shellz. He was with his girlfriend at the time, and she was apparently unaware of the news, finding herself surprised with just how many people had tuned in, joining the live obviously to see Herbo's reaction to the death of Shooter Shellz.
Damn, my shit just went up real quick.
That's because it's your birthday, bro. They ass phony kicking. We trying to see what you doing, man. Y'all nosy as hell, bro. What y'all trying to see what she doing for? Comment who lie this is. Comment right now, first person. Who this is? This us or? Cause if this her shit going crazy like this, I ain't getting on my shit for a month. Y'all ass ain't gonna see me. Oh yeah, this my shit. Stop it. This man. This Swervo. 153 chain. Stop playing. This Swervo shit, boy. Stop playing.
Soon after this, Herbo would be seen running around outside in a seemingly good mood, telling viewers that he's in Chicago downtown and that it's going to take the ops 2 hours to get to him.
Hold on, wait. Oh, Vito, make a motherfucker mad as hell. Y'all good, Grill? That's a little black. That's a black. That bitch tinted enough, y'all show. Y'all want me to call him PJ? Motherfucker good. Oh, game. Hold on, wait, where I'm at? Wait, hold on. Oh, Vito, bitch. Stop playing. My shit good. I'm in the rack right now. I'm downtown. Gonna take y'all last 2 hours to get right here.
You guys have to get a chair.
My baby on the picture. Ooh, she got the VVS dress, all VVS diamonds and that shit. What y'all want to address my next location or something, boy? How the fuck they miss a whole 100 shot? How the fuck you miss a whole 100 shots on photo?
Eventually, Herbo would find his comments inundated with people mentioning Shooter Shellz, prompting Herbo to snap into a rage and telling people to get off his page.
But y'all stop commenting shit on my page. Get the fuck off my page if y'all finna comment all this lame ass shit. I already know everything that's going on. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't know nothing about none of y'all. Ask the police on Vito. Get the fuck off my page with that gay ass shit. I don't know nothing about nothing about nothing about nothing. Get the fuck off my page before I don't get on live and block all y'all at.
Principal.
Get the fuck on. Leave me the fuck alone on folks.
You ain't so mad.
I don't know nothing about nobody, bro. Everybody broke as hell, bro. If your ass ain't rich or no limit, I don't give a fuck about you folks. Leave me the fuck alone, folks. Suck dick. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Get the fuck off my page. Get y'all ass goofy as hell.
However, despite getting angry at these incriminating comments, as time went on, Herbo would continue to make subtle references thought to be aimed at his former top op. In 4 Minutes of Hell Part 5, G Herbo would mock Shooter Shellz for getting shot in the head so gruesomely, saying he never made any money and has no head left. Fellow No Limit rapper Crazy James would rap on his Never Cared remix that they're going to Shooter Shellz their ops. And even Lil Bibby, the one person who Shooter Shellz said he respected for never dissing the dead, would come out on the song Crack Baby, seeming to reference the incident with the line, "Last one to diss the gang, his brains was all sloppy." The killing of Shooter Shellz wasn't without consequence, however, as 13 days after his killing, an OG figure in No Limit by the name of G Slim would lose their life too. Allegedly, Black Mob and Lakeside were responsible for the slaying, which took place at 5:15 AM on the 1500 block of East 82nd Street. G Slim, real name Lavondale Noble, was shot in the neck and hand and died, while another man was shot in the face and survived, with a seemingly innocent bystander being hit in the groin and neck, IDing the shooter's vehicle as a white sedan. But regardless, with one of their biggest and most feared rivals, Shooter Shellz, off the streets, No Limit members might, for the time being, feel a little bit safer on their block. However, as Shooter Shellz said himself, the consequence of killing a rival now means that you must live in fear for losing one of your own friends or family members. And in the years that followed, the violence would continue to play out the same way. But there was one particular act of violence that a No Limit member was accused of, just before Shooter Shellz was killed, that may well be one of the most shocking incidents in this story, and perhaps even Chicago drill history at large. And that's the story of Lil Wet from No Limit, who allegedly killed 4 people in one night.